Hey everyone, welcome to the video. I'm going to be going over my favorite place at running back for week 13 on Draftkings. So, starting off at the high end, my goodness, did Christian McCaffrey scorch the earth last week against Seattle? He had over 50 Draftkings points, and now he gets a matchup versus Tampa Bay, who is missing their top linebackers, and they just let Matt Breida gas them. Sign me up. I saw a tweet from Matthew Berry that CMC would be wide receiver 20 just from his receiving stats alone. The Bucks give up the 7th most fantasy points per game to running backs and are the 27th DVOA versus the run. CMC crushed them last time they played, and he should do it again. I expect him to be the highest on running back as well. Kareem Hunt gets an awesome matchup versus the Oakland Raiders, where he should be able to dominate. Oakland is 25th DVOA versus the run and is bottom 10 in points given up to the position. The Chiefs should kill them, so I expect a heavy dose of Kareem. And he's also involved in the passing game as well, which gives him a nice floor. Now on to the mid-range. Aaron Jones has been fantastic ever since he's been freed by Mike McCarthy. He gets a great matchup this week versus the Cardinals, who just give it up to running backs, as they've allowed the 4th most points per game to them. Their offense just can't stay on the field, and the defense just gets worn out by being out there most of the game, and as they're trailing. Teams get up early on them and just pound the rock, which I see happening again, as the Packers opened up as 14-point favorites, and they've only won 4 games this year. And next up is Philip Lindsay. I guess they're going to go against one of our favorite teams to pick on as they take on Cincinnati this week. You guys saw what the Browns did to them last week. They're giving up 32 points per game to the position, which is good for second worst in the league, and they're 30th DVOA versus the run. This team has seemed to give up on the season, and did I mention Hugh Jackson is calling the defense? There's not much more you can ask from him right there. So next guy is Chris Carson. Seattle's main goal every game is to pound the rock, and Chris Carson is the lead dog for them to do so. The past few weeks I've been saying he's just too cheap for a guy getting his kind of volume, and I think he's a pretty good hard runner as well. I think he continues his success at home versus the 49ers, where they seem to always play better. Onto the bargain bin. Gus Edwards has been great ever since Lamar Jackson's taken over. He also has a nice string of easy matchups, and that continues this week versus Atlanta. The Falcons give up 32 points per game to running backs, which is 3rd worst in the league, and are 31st DVOA versus the run. Even if Collins is in, it doesn't change anything to me, as I believe Gus is their guy, so let's just fire up the Gus bus this week. And Carlos Hyde is only 3,300, and he might get the start here. Fournette is appealing his suspension, but let's just assume for now he's not playing. Hyde should be the guy to get the carries, which he has been doing to relieve Fournette during games this year, since he's gotten traded there. And Yeldon will be the one involved through the air. The matchup is nice too versus the Colts, who are bottom half run D. And the last guy is Theo Riddick. If Carry-On is out, I like Riddick as a GPP flyer. He's cheap and should see plenty of targets and rack up the receptions, as I imagine Stafford will be under a lot of pressure most of the game, and he's going to have to dump it off to him. Game flow will work in his favor too, as they should be trailing most of the game, and he's just going to be a target hog. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. Be on the lookout for my wide receiver breakdown later in the week.